Welcome back to another Chat GPT Predicts on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And this week we asked Chat GPT to predict the 10 dark horse breakout picks, meaning the 10 people that perhaps don't get the recognition that they deserve and could easily break out onto the wrestling scene. Now, when I say dark horse and picks, this isn't specified to any particular brand. This is them just predicting, Chat GPT just predicting who they think are dark horses for people that can make a big breakout if given the opportunity. Well, with that in mind, let's get straight to it. At number 10, it is Ricky Knight Jr. from the UK, former Progress Wrestling Atlas champion. Ricky Knight Jr. has been killing it on the scene in the UK for a good few years now. Family lineage in the business as well. People in America may know Saraya or Paige, I think it's nephew. Also Zach Knight as well. You'll know him, or Zach Zodiac, or former AEW star. Ricky has everything here. He has got the style, and he has got that family lineage. And when sometimes you need to create a story in wrestling, Ricky's got all that, because the story is the family. The family themselves, the Knight family, own WAW over in Norwich. He's been on there as well, and he has got everything it needs. He just needs a contract somewhere for him to break out onto the scene. TNA Wrestling, I'm looking in your direction. But Ricky Knight Jr., he is an absolute star in the making. That is without a doubt. Right. On to number 9 on the Chat GPT list. And that is Carmen Petrovic of NXT. She's got the martial arts background. The crowd are kind of like already getting it. She's got these early signs of a crowd connection there on NXT. I just think that right now she's being overlooked because NXT have just got so much talent down there on the women's roster. I mean, they've just lost Stephanie Vaquer and Julia to the main roster, which gives her an opportunity. But of course, Blake Monroe, the former Mariah May, has just come in as well. Add to that, you've got Jordan Grace. At time of recording, the champion is JC Jane, of course. She's there as well. And, someone that perhaps could even be a dark horse for a draft pick to the main roster could happen. And Carmen Petrovic is more than capable of carving her legacy if given the opportunity. Right, from 9, we now move to 8. And that man is Griff Garrison. And you know what? He has really been, since the Varsity Blondes in AEW, obviously that was Julia Hart, which we know she's moved on and done some crazy things with the House of Black and everything like that. Lexus King, now the former AEW star, has gone to NXT. So he's kind of doing stuff in Ring of Honor now, but he's got the look, he's got the size, he's got a baby face. He looks very much like he'd be a great baby face. I just think it needs a story to go with it. He could be somebody that could really break out onto the scene in a big way if AEW give him that opportunity. I'm not sure what the contract status is with Griff, but he's somebody who could certainly make a quote-unquote impact anywhere that he goes. So one to keep an eye on for sure. Let's move on now to number 7 on the list, and that, to be honest, is someone that you should know very well for NXT, Miles Bourne. We've seen him quite recently. He has been talking a little bit about his disability recently on there. He has been an incredible rise on NXT. Someone that's, he does get the comparisons to Randy Orton as well, and he has got that amateur wrestling background. He's got that solid ring psychology, and I think when you look at the likes of Chad Gable and people like that, and Randy Orton, you could argue there's a space there for Miles Bourne if the WWE utilize him correctly. I really think he's very much a dark horse for a breakout. I just think maybe WWE already see it and are building it very slowly with him, because he has got the talent, he's got pretty much everything needed to become a star in the WWE, and we will see if that happens in the future. But let's now move to number 6 on the list of ChatGPT's Dark Horse breakouts, and that is Lady Frost. And you see her on AEW, on Ring of Honor. She's been around the Indies. She has been on Impact as well. She's very good in the ring. She always excites me when I see her in the ring. She's innovative. She's got a great look. There's all good things about her. I just wonder at the minute if she's she does work for AEW Ring of Honor at the minute. I just wonder if there's just too much in front of her at the minute in terms of, the talent way. Not that she's not a good talent at all, but just looking at who is ahead of her right now, and you want to think someone that's going to break out. Is there an opportunity for her to break out in AEW at the moment? I don't know. But I do think perhaps, and I don't know if she's signed. I think when I last had an interview with her, or last saw her in an interview, she wasn't. Maybe a move to Impact Wrestling could see her climb that ladder a bit more quicker anyway. But she is certainly a dark horse for a breakout if the stars align for sure. Super, super talented. Let's move up the list now. Halfway up this list onto number 5. And that is Javier Bernal. Now, he actually, surprisingly, was released by the WWE. And I just thought that he had there was a lot of comedy work about him as well. And he's he's good in ring, but he's a sneaky character. And I think if WWE could have utilized him a bit like a charismatic heel, he could stand out in a division like that. I mean, obviously WWE did release him, so there is a potential pickup there for someone. Do you know what? I'm going to go really out there for him. I'm going to say go to NWA. Break out a little bit in the NWA, and there'll be chances there, no doubt about it, because he's got a lot of talent. And I think he was really becoming someone who's very, very capable of breaking out if there was an opportunity. Obviously, there's not an opportunity now in WWE, but I just think Javier would be great in NWA initially to kickstart the career. We'll keep a lookout on him as we go through the months and the rest of 2025. That is for certain. Let's go into the top 4 now on the list of potential dark horse breakouts, and that is the Spanish super kid Zozoya. Now, he has been, on the scene in the UK. You see him there in progress. He's been killing it there, killing it at Rev Pro. I believe he was a part of the WWE tryouts this year. I don't think he got in, but certainly one to keep a look out. He is an exciting prospect. My goodness me, there's a lot of great Spanish wrestlers out there at the minute, or even European wrestlers out there in a minute, and Zozoya is definitely one of those. Is he someone that should have been on a dark horse breakout list? I don't know, because I feel as if a breakout for him is definitely on the cards. Such a talented wrestler. He's quick, he's agile, he does some crazy things. He will certainly get a crowd going, that is for sure. And whether or not an Impact Wrestling could take a look, I don't know what the situation is. But Zozoya, for me, is definitely one that you're going to be seeing on a main show definitely in the near future, without question of a doubt. We'll see, though. He's, again, one of the most exciting breakouts. We'll see what happens to him in 2025 and beyond. Right, top 3 time on the Chat GPT breakout, and that brings us to Sol Ruka from NXT. Again, you could argue maybe not. Maybe shouldn't be on this list because she's destined for a breakout. But again, like a bit like Carmen Petrovic, you look at the NXT women's scene at the minute and you think maybe she's been overlooked slightly. She has got, her athleticism is crazy. That soul snatcher finish is one of the most innovative finishers in wrestling. I feel she could be a fantastic breakout for that women's division. And again, a bit like Carmen, perhaps a dark horse for a call-up during the draft, because she is ready. She's also very good, and this sort of plays into 2025 now, the social media aspect. You see her doing her stuff that she does on the beaches when she's doing her stretches and workout routines and stuff like that. It's definitely what WWE look for. she's very marketable as well. And I think that perhaps coming up in the draft, So Ruka could be one that gets a move to Raw or SmackDown, but she is certainly one to watch in 2025. We're going into the top 2 now on the list, and number 2 is Cole Carter from AEW Ring of Honor. Do you know what? He is often overlooked. I will say that, and he's got a look, and the fundamentals of what he brings to wrestling is solid. The belief at the moment for me is the AEW talent pool. I just think there's too much there at the minute with, the established stars. Not saying that he can't break out, but if AEW were looking at their roster thinking, who could we look out for? Who could be someone that we could, make the next Orange Cassidy, the Darby Allins of this world? Cole Carter should be right up there as a prime candidate for the breakout in the next breakout in AEW. Maybe they love their tournaments in AEW. Maybe they can do some form of breakout. We do that at Ignite, funnily enough, but a breakout tournament where they get a call up to Dynamite or Collision or something like that, because he would be one that I would certainly put on that list. But right, before we get to number 1, let's check out the top 10. Now at number 10 we had RKJ, Ricky Knight Jr. At number 9 we had Carmen Petrovich. At number 8, Griff Garrison. At number 7, Miles Bourne. At number 6, Lady Frost. At number 5, Javier Bernal. At number 4, Zozaya. At number 3 was Sol Ruka. At number 2, of course, was Cole Carter. And at number 1 on this list, someone again whose release from WWE took a lot of people by surprise, and that was Trey Bearhill. Power, presence, iniguous representation. You saw that WWE saw something in him, and for whatever reason they decided to let him go. And again, I think about NXT. I think about Impact Wrestling for Trey. He's got the look. He's got something there. There's something about him. There was certainly something about him that WWE actually liked. Could Trey maybe go to Impact Wrestling and break out there as a star? Certainly could be on the horizon. He is one to definitely watch out for. That was an interesting pick at number 1, to be honest with you, by CHAT GPT. I wasn't expecting Trey to be at top of this list, but I tell you what, it's a great shout and someone that could certainly break out into promotion should one come calling, and I think one will come calling very, very soon. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Drop your list below in the comments. Give me your thoughts and suggestions, and also give me suggestions for some more Chat GPT series. I'll be interested to put them out for you, but also keep a lookout on us at HTD Buckle on X, HTD Buckle on, of course, the YouTube if you're watching on there, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast and all other social media outlets. We'll be back again with another Chat GPT series. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.